is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Dramatic surveillance video shows an RV and shed engulfed in flames. It happened overnight in the Goulds. One person was treated for smoke inhalation. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner reports that officials think this may be a case of arson.
We now know that detectives have a woman detained for questioning. I'm going to step out of the way so that you can see the significant damage back there. The RV and the shed are totaled. This exclusive surveillance video captures the moments an RV and shed in the backyard of a home are on fire before the fire department gets there. You can see a woman running up and down the street asking for help. Moments later, an ambulance and deputies arrive and begin walking around the backyard of the neighbor's house. By this point, the flames are well above the power line. Then you see the fire truck pull up to the scene. Video surveillance from another neighbor shows the moment when he believes there was an explosion.
I heard like a loud thumping noise, so I'm thinking like someone's trying to break into our house.
Tyshara Harold says she rushed her kids away from the back of their house, which is close to the RV.
Oh my God, I was shocked. I was shocked. It was crazy because it just happened so fast. Like we're all just asleep and then you just hear like this loud noise.
She took this video where you can see the power line on fire. Neighbors lost power and internet for hours. This all happened on Southwest 220th Street and Southwest 110th Avenue in Goulds. That's a few minutes south of the Southland Mall. You can see the deputies blocked off the street with crime scene tape for hours. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office said their arson unit took over the investigation. They detained one woman for questioning and transported her to a hospital for treatment. That woman is detained for questioning, but so far no arrests have been made. We will let you know if that changes. For now in Goulds, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
A stretch of I-75 Southbound in Weston is now back open. It was closed earlier today because of a tractor-trailer fire. Chopper 4 was over the scene just before the Sawgrass Expressway. Firefighters from Weston and Sunrise put out the flames quickly. No one was hurt.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Next Weather.
Well, it's hot and steamy, but you're tracking changes.
Yeah, I'm tracking changes, particularly for the weekend, which, of course, is always important for us here. Problem is, I think we're going to get into a stormier pattern at Naja for Saturday and Sunday. Today and tomorrow stay mostly dry. We actually have a little Saharan dust layer that's come in here. It's not too concentrated, so still a few showers around, but that will dissipate heading into the weekend, and I think that's when we have the potential for some heavier rainfall here, which we still need. Numbers right now, as far as the temperatures, yeah, it's in the 90s, and some areas that felt like the triple digits. And you can see there on next weather radar, there's just not much going on. Everything has been focused and continues to be focused across the central and western part of the peninsula here. So I think we're going to stay, for the most part, dry, not just through this afternoon and evening, but also heading into tomorrow. Not 0% rain chances, but relatively dry this time of year in our wet season. 30% is pretty low. We're going to bump that up still for the weekend. There are the numbers. And again, still places like Homestead down south into Kendall, Pembroke Pines, all checking in the triple digits as far as the humidity and what it makes it feel like. Haven't shown you this in a while, a combination of our next weather rain tracker, but I like to put the dust in here so you can see, what will be inhibiting the shower activity that tries to get going for later on today and into tomorrow. So we'll zoom in and put it into motion, and still rain tracker insisting on a few showers, and I'll buy that. It's just difficult when the showers start building up into the atmosphere. You get that dry air up above, and that tends to kind of quash the precipitation. But there you see, as we head through the remainder of tonight, it's looking pretty quiet here. And then tomorrow, same deal, still under the influence of that little layer of dust. And so that is going to take rain chances and keep them, I think, about 20 to 30%. I mean, the latest trends, I've been leaning more to 20, but you get the idea. Not anything widespread or heavy for Friday. Then comes the weekend. That's going to be the big change heading into a Saturday. We'll get rid of the Saharan air on top of us here, and that will allow some deeper moisture to work its way. And there's still going to be a bit of a battle, so I have some questions about how much rain we get out of it, but the rain chances certainly are going up. as you see rain beginning to fall by the time we get into the middle part of the day. This is different, right? So we've got a boundary coming in from the north, deeper moisture that's going to pull out ahead of it. And with our heating of the day and the sea breezes, we've got all those ingredients to make some rainfall here and the potential for even some stronger storms. And then everything winds down towards late evening. Timing and intensity of the storms, keep checking back with us. So that's still kind of going back and forth, but just plan for some rain that will interrupt both Saturday and Sunday for you with some pretty good accumulation, I think, as far as temperatures tomorrow back into the 90s. These won't change, by the way. When you see the next weather 7-day forecast, we're going to be talking about every day temperatures getting into the lower 90s into the afternoon, despite the fact that we are going to have rain chances coming up to about 60% beginning Saturday, continuing into Sunday, and then into next week. A pretty typical summer wet season pattern for us ahead.
Ivan, thank you. And make sure to join Ivan and the Next Weather team for Survive the Season Hurricane 2025. Our 1-hour special will have important information for you and your family. It's to help you get ready for whatever comes our way. Watch Survive the Season Hurricane 2025 on Sunday at 8 p.m. And we have some breaking news just into our newsroom. This is happening right now in Aventura. We are getting reports of a restaurant fire. This is a live look at the Aventura Mall, where customers, we've learned, were evacuated. We're going to have much more coming up on CBS News Miami at 5. The man accused of hitting a police officer with his car in Bayfront Park was in court today. A judge ruled that he be held on $8,800 bond. Menelik Clark is facing several charges, including aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer. Police say the 21-year-old knowingly drove his car forward, even though a police officer was right in front of him directing traffic. The officer ended up on the hood of the car and shot into Clark's windshield. Clark surrendered and was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound. 2 PortMiami workers were arrested. They are accused of stealing pricey works of art. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office says the custodial workers were caught on camera. They were removing artwork from a terminal and loading it into their personal vehicles. Investigators say that art is worth more than $50,000. In consumer news, 2 airlines are partnering up in a limited deal. The partnership between United and JetBlue is called Blue Sky. It will allow frequent flyers on both airlines to earn and burn their points on the other carrier. The 2 airlines are also exchanging a handful of takeoff and landing slots at JFK and Newark airports. That deal starts this fall. You've probably heard buy now and pay later. Well, it turns out a lot of consumers are missing the pay later part. Digital finance platform Klarna reported an increase in people who are behind on their payments. Users who fail to pay are subject to late fees and interest charges, and it could impact their credit scores.
I think that a lot of people like the idea of buy now, pay later, but essentially it is the same trap we often can get into with credit cards. We can spend more than we intend to, and we can actually see fees if we're not paying these off on time.
According to Bankrate, almost half of credit card holders carry debt from month to month. They say rates and balances remain near record highs. When we come back, an increase in stroke risk, how something as common as a neck pain can play a role in younger people. And make sure to join us tomorrow night for Marlins baseball on CW Miami 33. The Marlins host the San Francisco Giants. Coverage starts at 6:30. First pitch is set for 7:10. You can watch the game for free on CW Miami 33. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. In today's Health Watch, Skittles are no longer being made with titanium dioxide. It's a color additive that was banned in European unions in 2022, and it was over possible health risks. Mars, the company that makes the candy, said it stopped using the ingredient in Skittles in the U.S. at the end of last year. The ingredient makes food shiny or more brightly colored. Mars, which also makes M&Ms and Snickers, did not explain why it made that decision. As we mark the end of National Stroke Month, more young people are being diagnosed with tears in a neck artery, and that's a major cause of stroke. A new study shows hospitalizations have quadrupled over the last 15 years. CBS News Miami's Bradley Blackburn has more.
Michael Clayton was just 33 years old when his week-long headache turned into something much worse.
All of a sudden, the left side of my face started tingling. I sat up, I got kind of dizzy, lost my balance a little bit.
His roommate rushed him to New York's Mount Sinai Hospital, where doctors diagnosed he was having a stroke.
Kind of in disbelief, because I thought, strokes are normally for somebody who's 60, 70, 80.
The cause, a cervical artery dissection, a tear in the artery in the neck that provides blood flow to the brain and can lead to blood clots.
This is where the dissection is, that irregularity there.
Dr. Hazem Shawea says Clayton's stroke was likely due to a common behavior, neck cracking.
Trauma is not necessarily something that is very big or catastrophic as people would think. We think of things like neck cracking. We think of things like chiropractor adjustments of the neck. Even certain extreme positions in yoga, whiplash injuries.
A recent study found hospitalizations for cervical artery dissections have increased from 11 cases per million to 46 per million over 15 years.
I think this increase is likely caused by a few things. One, the incidence may actually be increasing, but two, our recognition of it may be also on the rise.
After his stroke, Clayton's mom stayed with him for months as he relearned how to walk and even swallow.
My angel, my mom, she's the best.
Nearly 2 years later, he's grateful he survived and is able to warn others.
If you notice something that's not normal, go get checked out. It's worth it. And don't crack your neck.
Strokes can happen to anyone. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Before we go, the story of how a simple device and a powerful purpose saved the life at the top of the world. A man from England stationed a defibrillator on Mount Everest. Within weeks, it helped revive a young climber from France. David Sullivan says he cried tears of joy when he learned the machine made a critical difference on the world's highest peak.
I've done something worthwhile to give someone else and a family the chance to keep their daughter and for her to go on and have a great big life.
Sullivan is on a mission to teach CPR and deliver defibrillators to remote, high-risk locations. The life-saving success comes at a fitting time because today marks 72 years since two climbers first reached the summit of Mount Everest. And that does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.